guys? It's John McNamara, host, Run in Vegas. We're talking local sports, business, real estate. You guys like, subscribe, follow us on Run in Vegas podcast today. I got my co-host, Ryan Pulliam. UNLV, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, get the hypey. It's hot out, man.
It's ridiculously hot out.
I'm sweating, but a couple shout outs before we start. Thank you, Mr. George Hernandez, holding down the pod. Had some things going on, went on vacation, so thank you, great pods. Scott Standout, Mr. Mike, thanks for shouting out Run in Vegas. Guys, check them out. He does a great job. So what's up, man?
Just trying to stay cool, man.
Yeah.
That's about all we can do right now.
Yeah, my daily walk is getting a little bit tougher.
Yeah. I get out at about 4:30 in the morning just to make sure I can actually breathe.
That's the way to do it. That's
yeah.
how I'm doing it too right now. Babysitting all the dogs, taking the walk. So, all right. So Run in Vegas today. We are talking. We're gonna start off a little UNLV basketball, UNLV football. If we have time, maybe a little end of Golden Knights season. We'll recap that. Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
But I feel like we never get through our questions. So let's start off. So big commit, Sebastian Mack from Missouri, originally from UCLA, a local talent at a Coronado, 6'3", 195-pound guard. Sounds of UNLV. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it was funny. We talked. He signed like the day after we did our podcast about the transfer portal and who we all had on the team. I love it. Obviously, local kid. I know he graduated from Coronado, but he first started out at Durango, which is my alma mater, and nobody blazes trails like the Trailblazers. So that was pretty cool. You know, the kid he played 2 seasons, quality seasons at UCLA. Was freshman, all Pac-12, and that was when it was a good Pac-12, not with the joke that they have now. And was a major contributor. One thing I really like about it, he played for Mick Cronin, who is kind of like I could probably be his stunt double, and he is a hard-nosed coach and expects greatness out of his players. The fact that he stayed there after his freshman season, I love that he can deal well with pressure and is coachable. Unfortunately, his role was a little bit diminished at Missouri. Yep. I don't know if that was just game plan, a senior-laden team, or what, but I think he comes back to Las Vegas, to his hometown, with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and I'm all for it.
Me too. Yeah, I love the Cronin comment, by the way, too. I'm never gonna forget that one. All right, freshman season, UCLA, 12 points, 43 field goal, 1.3 steals a game, free throw 72, physical guard, gets to the lane. I like it, and that was his freshman year. Obviously, got a reduced role at Missouri, but I think what we're seeing is a lot of those guys go to the SEC and they can't really crack the lineup, or they're like that 7th, 8th player. So, along with Harris from Vanderbilt. So I like the signing. I kind of feel, that gets us a big 3.
Yeah, and I was so funny. I was thinking about that on the way up here. How you've talked about that for 2 years now. That we had 2 qualities. The third kind of dynamic has been missing, and I was thinking the exact same thing, that I think we have 3 folks now that can score the hoop, and I think it takes a lot of pressure off of Cam Miles. The combo, we have so many combo guards. We have more combos than Jack in the Box drive-through, but I think it really takes the pressure off of one of them not to have to score and run point. They can kind of be used interchangeably, and I'm excited to see that backcourt.
Yeah, me too. I think Mack, Harris, and Jones can go for 20 points almost any game, so hopefully they all stay healthy. But yeah, I was kind of hoping we would have like a more true shooter in that position, but I like the Mack signing. I like it's a physical guard. It seems like for the majority of the committee, and we talked about this last time, they're physical, they're tough, they get to the lane, create fouls. But I like it. He's good at free throws. And even last year, the other team kept getting more fouls. So if we can shore up that free throw line, I think we're going to just win out with toughness. So
I love it. And that's what we kind of talked about with the dynamic and the identity of the team that the coach is building.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the roster makeup now? Like overall, because I know last time we talked about it, and I was like, man, we got to do this pod again.
Yeah.
But now what are your thoughts? Because I felt like mine was a little like, I feel like it's incomplete. We need that one more guy. So I'm pretty happy about this. But what are your thoughts about overall the roster now in the Mountain West?
So yeah, from last month, I think that we're stronger at a deeper position, and this is probably what Coach wanted backcourt to look like last year with Miles Che and DGL, both guards. I think we have an upgrade. I mean, Miles Che was a great player, great point guard, but I think the two guards that we have now in that position are starting, I'm assuming is going to be our starting backcourt, are more athletic. So I think we've upgraded there. But I do think there's still some dynamics that are missing on the team, some spots to be filled. So, I'd love to get your thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, in Pastner, did you have a chance to listen to, again, Standout Scarlet with Mike? Pastner was on it, and he actually talked about he needs another shooter from outside and like maybe a center that can score. So that was kind of my take. I'd like to see some more outside shooters. Because right now, I think that's going to be the weakness of a team. I don't know if you can necessarily, you want 3 to 4 guys that can shoot, and I don't really see that. Probably the majority. It's going to be physical, get to the rim, create the foul, kind of, or run the ball, get ahead of them on defense. But there's not a ton of great outside shooters. Right now, it's really Ford and Harris.
And that's kind of the tough thing. If you do have physical guards that can attack the rim, if the defenses collapse, being able to kick out to an open man on the 3 and keep that streak alive, which is really, really important. And yeah, you're right. I think when we talked last time, at the guard position, we both wanted to see just a true shooter that could just light it up from 3. And, I think Mack is a great addition. If we couldn't have the perfect candidate out of Central Casting that could just sit on the 3-point line and shoot the ball, this guy definitely fills a role that I think is going to be needed on the team later on in the season.
I agree with you. Yeah, it makes the lineup interesting now. I feel like Williamson and Miles, one of them is going to break out. Mm-hmm. We're not guaranteed that. I think one of them is going to shoot well from outside. Hopefully both, but I like that now. It was funny, too, how we thought Dontre Williams would be a really great 6-man.
Yeah.
I think he goes into that role now. I think he's going to get starter minutes as, off the bench, and then Ford and Thomas as kind of like the role players. So, yeah, I'm excited. Do you think this roster right now, over the hump, we're gonna win the Mountain West?
No, like I said, Mac definitely makes us better. And when we, after the pod, when we were walking out, we were kind of talking that UNLV can be picked anywhere from 4 to 6 in the media poll. I mean, we're kind of in that middle of the pack. I think his signing cements us as probably the 4th pick, but I don't think we're breaking the top 3 with New Mexico, UNR, and Grand Canyon. But I do think we're, the 4th best team with him on the roster.
I think that's a good take. I kind of see us kind of similar to you, is almost like tier 2, us and Reno. And yeah, I would give Reno the edge because they have more players coming back. You have a better understanding. We have probably more upside. We have more upside every year, though. So I don't know.
Exactly.
But I think right now I would not predict us to win the Mountain West Championship. But I will say I think there's enough talent to make it happen now. Where before I was like, I don't know, like we may maybe get into the finals, but best case scenario. But now I'm like, okay, I think we have a roster that could potentially win it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best team on paper, but it can compete.
It can compete, and like we talked about last time too, what we've seen win in the Mountain West Conference is long, athletic, defense, rebounding with San Diego State. We kind of a model of that on the roster now, so I think there's a good possibility if things gel and these kids can play together well, that sky's the limit for the team, but realistic expectations, I say we're picked 4th to finish, and
yeah.
I could see us probably maybe finishing 3rd or 2nd, but I don't know if we're gonna have the best team in the league.
Yeah, I think so. I like Pastner's vision. Let's see what he can do, and pray for no injuries again this year.
Exactly right.
All right, well, let's get into it. My favorite thing, UNLV football. We usually have to wait, but we got some good stuff going on right now. So when I texted you earlier in the week, UNLV had a total of 11 signings in June. Now it's 17.
Yeah, I've been feverishly refreshing Twitter just to see who else it's happening.
Yeah. And I think we had 17 total commitments, or 18. Now it's 23. So what are your takeaways from this class? I mean, for 2027, it's almost completed. I think this is a first where, usually it's like signing day. We're talking about the class getting completed, but they probably only have anywhere from like 2 to 4 more spots for high schoolers right now.
And that's the amazing thing. I mean, it's the complete opposite for UNLV basketball, where we're still trying to field the full roster, and we tip off in like 3 or 4 months. Whereas UNLV football now is almost has their entire 2027 class signed. I think it's great to see that Mullen's building for the future, and because he's being so aggressive for 2027, it bodes well, I believe, for us about his commitment to being in Las Vegas and coaching at UNLV. It's not just taking it year by year, but it's not just the amount of people. And we'll get into a couple of the players later, I know, but we're beating out power schools for opportunities, and it's just amazing the dynamic of what winning does to a culture and winning does to a team. We've had 3 really good seasons in a row, and all of a sudden it's changed our identities. We're not some kind of laughable team playing out at Sam Boyd. We're a legitimate contender to possibly make the college football playoff. And if you would have told me that 10 years ago, I would have laughed you out of the building.
Yeah. No, it's pretty remarkable. So it's a top 60 class, number 1 in the Mountain West. Guys, check out, I don't want to go through all the players because it can get it's hard to kind of listen to when you're listening to a podcast, but best resource is UNLV 24/7, 2027 commitments. Go check that out. You guys can see all the players that committed because there's been a ton committing for June. But really impressive, a lot of good offensive players he brought in. One that was interesting to me, which I thought was pretty cool, one of the top signings is Donovan McNabb Jr. Does that ring any bells?
Name sounds familiar. Yeah.
When I saw the sign, I'm like, no way. And it's his son.
Yeah. Which is cool, and again, going back to the name is obviously the headline because it's Donovan McNabb Jr.'s son, and I remember when we had Jerry Rice Jr. or it was Junior the third. We had Jerry Rice's kid come and play for his last season as a wideout, and it was cool to see. We saw Jerry Rice at the games, but going back to who we beat out for this kid to come here, and it's not like we're getting leftovers of, we talk about when the transfer portal hits, maybe some kid got over-recruited, not getting the minutes at a Big 12, Big 10, SEC school and wants to come here. This kid chose UNLV over some really good schools and some good football programs. So I love that we have a powerful receiver with that name recognition, but again, it's just the excitement that's building with the program is what I'm most excited about.
Yeah. He's an interesting prospect. So he's right now currently our 2nd highest prospect. We got another running back that is now currently just committed the other day. He's now the number 1. He's a smaller receiver. He's about 160 pounds. I think he's 5'11", so he'll need time to develop, and obviously has the bloodline, but just pretty exciting. Again, I love how you hit on the nose is you go on 247, you look, they have a lot of offers from Big 12 schools, so they're in that range. So it's fun because it feels like a couple of years, Mullen has taken recruiting to the next level. Mm-hmm. You're seeing the difference because a lot of these players, McNabb maybe it's not the best example because he needs to put like 20 pounds on. But most of these guys are coming in full weight, ready to go, 6'5", 6'7", they're big, they're ready to play now. Where UNLV in the past was, you got to wait at least 2-3 years, and hopefully they turn into something good. So it's been pretty impressive.
No, absolutely.
So who are some players or a player you're super excited, not named McNabb, because that's the easy one.
Yeah.
Who are you excited about?
Well, I'm going to let you talk about Phoenix Pollard because I know you're a big line guy. So going back to Las Vegas, obviously a Las Vegas born and raised. So Jaden Mason out of Faith Lutheran. He's a stud junior wideout. Really had a breakout junior year. He didn't have a ton of big name schools offering him yet, but he plays on both sides of the ball. I think it's nice to know, not knowing really what the roster makeup will look like in 2027. Just know he's versatile enough to either play as a wideout or a defensive back. But it speaks to his athleticism. I think this kid has a ton of upside. I love that that we're starting to get a pipeline from local schools, because we want to we've seen that Las Vegas has become a powerhouse for high school football with Bishop Gorman. I think Faith is obviously up there in the mix. And, we have CJ Besser, who's the family's a good friend, sitting next to us at all the Rebel games. He's a stud. He committed. He's class of this year. And now with Mason next year, I like the pipeline we might be starting from Faith Lutheran.
I like it too. It's always good to see locals sign. I'm still not seeing like the top local signings, so I think that's potentially the next wave. A lot of times they're coming back through transfer a year or two later, which is fine. And that's understandable, but yeah, I love those. I love how you and I, we never pick the same guys. We never talk about it, but we never pick the same guys. I went kind of easier this time. I didn't want to go through the whole list, but like give you guys an idea who these players are. I just actually said the top. I know you wanted to, I was going to say 3 linemen. I didn't do it this time.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I would say Delisha Matthews, the running back, he's our top recruit, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Luke Forel, QB 6'5", rating 86 by 247. My favorite, though, I'm going a different direction because I'm very predictable on this pod with the O-line, was Michael Greer, 6'5", 255-pound edge. He's got this, I mean, we're very young up front in the D-line area, and this isn't until next year, but I thought that's a guy that, hey, maybe he can make the 3 or 2 deep, coming in next year. So he was my big takeaway.
He's your big takeaway. Okay, good. I thought for sure you're going to do Phoenix Pod. Well, good. It's always nice to have a little surprise.
Yeah, I got to mix it up. Keep it on your toes.
Absolutely.
So what were your big takeaways from the class overall?
Overall, like I said, I love that Mullen is recruiting for the future, that he's getting ahead of the game just because it's with the transfer portal, everything is so unpredictable. So if you can kind of get guys committed early on, they have a rooting interest, we look good. And as you said, as opposed to having a kid come in and, all right, give him a couple years in the weight room, make sure he has nutrition taken care of and really working the system. I like the size that we're coming in with because, and I know that you know this better than anybody, when we play against big teams, the line is, in years past, was so dominant on the other side. We got outmatched and outmanned. And last year, that wasn't necessarily the case in majority of the games, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue for us going forward. Yeah,
we'll see on the defensive line this year. I think we're a year away from that, with the full potential of this defense. But offensive line, I think, will probably be the best in the league. They got size. I think they're going to be better this year. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. And I think the way Mullen is building, too, it kind of feels like we may get another year run with him. We'll see. It all depends.
Right.
The guy goes undefeated. He gets, in the playoffs. It's hard to turn down big money, but he's legitimately building a roster from the inside out versus just going transfer portal. He's bringing a lot of transfers, too, but he's making some big waves here. But the big takeaway for me was, and I loved it because my last time we talked about football was 2-3 months ago. My concern was the defensive line and the future of it. 6 commits that were either edge or defensive line. Most have size. Some of these guys are going to have to develop a little bit. But I'm glad that they overhauled that so far because I think they're going to need it in the future.
Yeah. And going back to, if Mullen will get poached, I saw this on Twitter, so take that with a grain of salt. But they ranked the coaching jobs in the Big Ten, and Barry Odom at Purdue was, I think, 11 out of 12. So I mean, it was just not a good scene for him. I know he got a crazy amount of money, but I think Mullen likes Las Vegas, and I think he's kind of wants to be here. And I think with Harp getting his extension, I feel confident we might get 1 or 2 more years with him.
I think so. I lean that too because I think he's made his money. It's hard to. I mean, Barry Odom. How do you not? That's generational wealth. Totally get it. Maybe if he was a little more patient, he could have got a better program because Purdue's tough. But, I feels like it's leaning that way. But still, once somebody offers you enough money,
that's it. Everybody has a price.
Yeah. So we'll see. But so far, loving the class. We'll talk more about it. We'll be talking about a lot of UNLV football probably July, August. That's going to probably be a big focus as we go into the season. We can get into a ton more detail. I just kind of wanted to go over a couple things here. One thing I noticed, have you been reading the magazines?
Yeah. You mean Phil Steele?
Phil Steele, all of them. I don't know, back in the day, that was my thing. Now it's you can't. It's Phil Steele, I'll Google it, but now information's so quick.
It's like
by the time you get the magazine, this is wrong.
It's like bringing a magazine to a fantasy football draft.
Yeah. You don't do that. But the one thing I thought was interesting on most of them, across the board, I was a little shocked by this, so I want your thoughts. The team that was predicted to win the Mountain West, I think in all the big sources, was New Mexico, not UNLV. Thoughts?
Definitely the trendy pick, and I think Jason X has earned what the accolades that he's getting. I mean, what he did at Idaho, he kind of replicated when he got to New Mexico. They were picked, if you remember, they were picked to finish 11th in the season, 11th in the league last year, and they ended up not playing for the conference championship because of analytics. So the success is there. He knows how to build a program. He has the majority of his O and D line coming back. The quarterback's coming back. They got a really good transfer in from Oregon, so there's going to be a quarterback battle. So that's kind of the deal, but there's also something to be said about when there's not any pressure. If you're picked to finish 11th, you go out and you can just play ball. Now the pressure is going to be on them. And I'm going to take the opposite side. UNLV brings back Jet Thomas, and I think with Jackson Arnold at quarterback out of the portal, if the defense can take a modest step forward, and I know we spent a lot of time talking about the defense last season, but if the defense can take a modest step forward, I truly believe that it's UNLV's title to lose.
I think so too. Yeah, I was a little surprised. I would pick UNLV too. And I think everything that Jason has done at New Mexico has been remarkable, and I think give him a lot of props.
Absolutely.
And they beat UNLV at UNLV. UNLV's at New Mexico this year. Quarterback's back, QB from Oregon's in. It's lining up very well for New Mexico. But there's a lot of things that kind of happened in that game. New Mexico wasn't, I think, not to say that UNLV didn't take them serious, but I know Anthony Calandria, I think he had the flu. He was getting over it. Mm-hmm. So he didn't play his best game. But New Mexico didn't, it's just like, oh, they're playing New Mexico. Until the end of the year, everybody kind of realized how good they were. And UNLV was like that first big win for them. So I think UNLV goes into that game next year fired up from losing it. They're going to take them you hit on those, like, hey, they're predicted first? Okay, great. Let's go show it. This is our conference. But I'm shocked where it seems on paper this is a better team. It depends on the QB. Yeah. I believe Arnold or one of them's going to step up. But on paper, this team looks better. They've been in the Mountain West Championship 3 years in a row. If Boise State is not in this conference, UNLV most likely wins 2 or 3 of those championships.
And I think, speaking of that, and I could be wrong, so please fact check me if I am, I think the New Mexico loss came a week after the Boise State loss. So there's just kind of a deflating, this is our last chance to beat Boise State, I think, on the Smurf turf. And they came down and they lost that game. And so I think there's a little bit of defeat. You hit it on the head. Calandria had his flu game, and it just wasn't. He didn't look his best. He didn't play like AC does. So, but I do agree. Heading down to the Burke, they're gonna have something to prove, and I think we're gonna win one back there.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna see. So, okay, before I go on paper, what do you think about this team going into next year compared to last year's team?
So on paper, again, we didn't know what Anthony Calandria was gonna do. I think one of our first podcasts, there was still a lot of debate if it was gonna be Alex Orji or AC as the starter, and there could still possibly be some debate there. But I think on paper now with Jackson Arnold, where he's played and his physical ability, and now that I know that Dan Mullen is the quarterback whisperer, I think we have a slight edge, if not to the same. It's like losing the offensive player of the year in the Mountain West Conference is nothing to like kind of sneeze at. But I do think with Jackson Arnold coming in, on paper, the team looks very similar. And again, another year under Mullen in the system. We have, oh my gosh, what's the defensive coordinator's name? Paul, is it Paul? The defensive coordinator.
Mike Shear.
Mike Shear. So we have him actually coming back and being good. So I think on paper we have an edge from last year's team. Slight.
Yeah. I think so too. I think overall the offense line is going to be bigger, more veterans, more physical. And that was the thing last year, and you and I had this conversation before the season. I'm like, because Orji's still on the team too. I think Jackson Arnold is most likely going to be the starter, to be clear. But if this line can move, like we talked about, the defensive line of all these Mountain West teams, that just right there, you're just playing power run football with Jet Thomas. That's just interesting. So I think across the board, I know the weapons are younger, but I think they're going to be upgrades. They're very athletic. They have a little bit a higher ceiling. I think the biggest question mark on this is the defense. It's going to be younger, but the defense was bad last year.
Very bad.
So I feel like if we're, just better than that, I think it's going to make a huge difference. And I think the offseason win for this defense was bringing Mike Shear in, and he's going to have a huge influence because we kind of talked about too. Is like he's the one getting interviewed, not Gunther.
Yeah,
but I did hear an interview with Gunther, and I thought it was interesting. And he actually went into it the shift from NFL to college. He kind of came in last minute. You know, he didn't have guys in his system, so I think he's kind of learning the college game a little bit too. And he was actually open about it. You know, it was good to hear actually, because sometimes you get coach speak or you get like ways to not talk about it. But he actually took accountability for last year and, you know, gave people a better idea what was going on. So I think across the board, the defense can be better. It's gonna be younger. So I'm more curious, like how does this defense show up in the beginning of the year versus the second half, because the talent's so young for a Mountain West championship. But yeah, I think the big question is the quarterback. Is that could be the difference of Mountain West championship or not. But either way, I think this is a better team on paper, and we're not playing Boise State anymore.
Right. That's one of the biggest. I want to say upgrades, but one you know, if a team has your number, then now you're not playing them. You don't have that loss on the schedule.
Yep. All right, cool. So what do you think the teams in this conference that are going to give UNLV the most trouble?
So we kind of talked a little bit about New Mexico. I think that's going to be one of the resume games for the conference. Hawaii is a trap game because we've talked in years past. They have a very high potent offense. If our defense isn't up to it, and we play in Hawaii, the travel's always tough. They talk about the Vegas flu. There's the Hawaii headache as well. I mean, you get over there and you're kind of in paradise, and maybe you're not as focused. So I think those are the two games that I'll be very interested in. We play Hawaii very early in the season, and then
right after Memphis. Too.
Yeah, right after Memphis, and not really knowing what North Dakota State, how they're going to come in. They're playing up. They spent the last, you know, for the entirety of their existence in the FCS, and they have 10 FCS titles in 15 years. They're prohibited for playing for the Mountain West Conference Championship, so I think they're going to come into the league and just want to beat everybody to show, hey, one, we deserve to be here. Two, it doesn't matter, we don't need to play for your championship. We're going to be champions in our own right, and so I'm very interested just to kind of see how they adapt to playing up, because again, talking about culture, they have a winning culture. They've been winning for a long time. They know how to win games.
Yeah, I think North Dakota State is big. I love Hawaii. Big back their quarterback. They had a good defense last year. UNLV kicked their butt last year here, so I think they're going to be ready for that game. Hawaii, I should say. So I think that's a good trap game right after Memphis. You're in Hawaii. That is a very interesting game to me too. I like Hawaii. I like North Dakota State. All the top 4 teams, they're away, which we thought was interesting, not surprising. Smart by the Mountain West. I think year 2, I think North Dakota State's going to compete pretty well. I see them getting 8 wins and being tough and creating some drama in the conference a little bit. I could see them, I mean, they're going to have all those games home next year. I could see them being a favor to be in the Mountain West Championship the following year. And my sleeper, do you have a sleeper team?
For the Mountain West?
Yes. Put you on the spot.
Yeah, that is a little bit on the spot. No, I mean, I think that not really. I don't know enough about Northern Illinois, but if there was something that I think may have the opportunity to do that, it might be Northern Illinois.
Okay, I like it.
Sorry, I wasn't.
I got him on that one.
Yeah.
I don't send him all the questions.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta keep me on my toes.
Mine's Air Force.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting because the last couple of years they have not been good, but this program in the past has won 9, 10, 11 games. That program's been around for a while, same coach. Unless something's happened to that coach that we don't know about and he's taking a step back, but I don't think so. I think they just had a couple off years. But those teams in the past would probably, that won on a high level, would probably win Mountain West championships. So we'll see if they can get back to that, but the conference is a lot lighter now. So I could see them being an 8-9 win team. I think they're interesting.
I think that's a great pick too, because they run that triple option, which is tough. If you don't play against it, it's tough to. You can watch as much film. Once you actually get on the field and try to have to defend that, it's tough. These are going to be a lot of newer teams that are seeing that this year, so they could steal a couple wins where we thought that wouldn't be the case in years past for a Boise State, maybe a Wyoming, teams that they've seen play a lot.
I'm just glad Arroyo's not our coach anymore because he did not know how to put a defensive lineman in the middle of
exactly
the fullback. goes for 12 yards. Oh my gosh. Anyways, all right, so our time's up. I'm going to keep going. Because this is what I was looking forward to. Mountain West fun facts. You ready for this?
Let's go, yeah.
I got 4 fun facts for you.
4, let's do it.
But you're going to guess.
Okay.
Okay. Fun fact number 1. All right. Besides UNLV, who has had, because originally there's actually a team that had more commits, but like today, now UNLV has more commits. Besides UNLV, what are the top programs for commitments for 2027?
Will it be New Mexico?
Nope.
Air Force?
Nope.
I don't know.
North Dakota State and Northern Illinois.
Interesting. All right.
North Dakota State has 20 commits, Northern Illinois has 17 commits, and then the next one's like 6.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, very much so.
Is that a fun fact?
So much fun.
Okay, good. All right, fun fact number 2. What Mountain West program has the most preseason all Mountain West first teamers?
Ooh, this one's tough.
This is a good one.
This one is a good one.
This is a really good one.
All Mountain West first teamers. I'm gonna go Air Force. No, how silly of me. That's such a dumb answer. No, let's go. Let's go New Mexico.
Okay, it's not New Mexico.
Okay.
But it's your favorite color to wear on this pod.
Oh, not UNR.
Reno.
Oh, the city that shall not be named.
5
Really?
on the first team.
Wow.
Is that a fun fact?
I didn't want to say it out of my mouth. I thought for a second it may be, but I was like, no, there's no way.
That's crazy,
That's
right?
pretty crazy, yeah.
Yeah, and they're not picked in the top 5.
Yeah.
So I think Reno, they might be a bowl team this year. We'll see. I think they're a little underrated. They lost a lot of they're totally rebuilding that program from last year. Reno's interesting. I don't think they're competing for a Mountain West championship, but I think they're a bowl team. All right, fun fact number 3. What program has the most players returning?
I am going to say New Mexico. Oh my gosh! If I keep,
It's going to sound very obvious after we say
oh,
it.
Air Force Academy.
Yes.
All right. That's how silly of me.
And
yeah.
what are they ranked in the nation for returning players?
I would say they're probably behind Army, Navy, so maybe 5.
Number 1.
Is it really? Good for them. Aim high.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at these fun facts, right?
Boy, I'm horrible right now.
No, it's good. I didn't know these. This
Yeah.
is why I was like, but it changes your thinking
Yeah,
once
no,
you start going down. You're
that's
like,
a great point.
I don't know. I look at these teams a little bit differently
Yeah.
now, either now or for the future. All right, what would UNLV, currently right now on 247 as the source, what would UNLV be ranked in recruiting? They're number 1 in Mountain West, obviously.
Okay.
If they were in the pack, the new pack, what would they be ranked?
They'd be ranked number 2 behind Boise State.
Number 1.
Jeez, I'm
over
terrible.
4.
Are you even going to invite me back?
So what are your thoughts after hearing all that?
It's pretty impressive. It just shows that there's a lot of parity in college sports now, and I think the NIL has really leveled the playing field. No pun intended, but it's just you got to get out there, you got to compete, and you got to execute.
Yep. That was cool.
Yeah.
All right. Good
Awesome,
fun pod, man.
Yeah, fun pod as always.
All right, guys. This is Ron Vegas. Take care of yourselves today.